All right, you're not going to believe this, and I'm not sure I believe it. So let me show you what I got going on. All right, now this little summer squash, just a little yellow straight neck squash, is not real healthy. That's actually recovering, which is the amazing part. And there's Bob. Okay, which is the amazing part because it was planted in this pot, and if you look, the stem is completely gone. It was attacked by a vine borer, and the vine borer got it. Now, this was like a week or two ago, and I, at the time, looked out one morning and the whole plant's limp, and I thought, well, that about takes care of that, and we've got a vine borer attack. Now, I don't usually treat for those, but because they don't happen all the time, not in my part of the country. I mean, you'll get them maybe every second or third year. You get a vine borer attack, but it'll just be on one plant, and I usually plant multiple, so I don't worry too much about it. It's easy to treat, though, if you have, well, not to treat, but to prevent. If you're in a place where you get vine borers every year, all you got to do is keep a little 7 dust on that stem. And you don't have to do it from the time that they're first started, but, you know, do it from the time the plant's reaching maturity. It's getting to the point where it's starting to bloom. Okay, so anyway, this plant, I look out one morning, it's limp, and I thought, well, that's the end of that, and vine borer got it. And over several days, I just watched it, and the silly thing starts to recover. So I go out here and check, and it's actually rooted along the stem. So at that point, I check the internet and query, you know, do squash plants root along the stem? Well, I read 4 different answers, 3 of which said no. They said they get tendrils, they get kind of a prehensile root that doesn't have anything to do with bringing up moisture. It just helps kind of stabilize the plant. I did get one, though, that said that squash had been interbred and hybridized so many times there goes Bob again, over the years that, you know, they don't in any way resemble, and that there's a lot of things a certain variety might do that isn't normal. But anyway, this little yellow straight neck squash has rooted itself back down to the ground. So I'm kind of looking. It's not attempting to bloom or anything, but apparently Bob needs some attention, so we'll look at him for just a minute. Okay, it's not trying to bloom, but if it does, great, and if it doesn't, fine. Poor thing has worked hard enough to survive that, you know what, I'm just going to let it grow. But like I say, usually vine borers, man, they'll hit one day, the second day the plant's dead or near dead. By the 3rd day for sure it's gone, and they don't recover. So this was just so unusual that I wanted to show it to you, and I wanted you to see it, you know. So, and like I say, I just can't believe that stem. There's like 8 inches of it that's completely gone almost. It's there in spirit, but not in reality. So, all right, well, that's all I have. Oh, before I leave them, one more note, because I mentioned that they'd been crossed and interbred, and, you know, by farmers have experimented with squash since practically recorded history. Don't get confused. Hybrids or interbred does not make it a GMO. There's no such thing as a garden seed that's GMO. So Hybrid is just to place it simply, it's like your children. It's a cross between you and your spouse. So, all right, you all have a quality day.